All right, this is what we're making today. Pumpkin spice Rice Krispie treats. You don't want to miss it, so stay tuned for the video. Hey everyone, welcome to the Farm and Pastor's Wife. I am so glad you're here. If you're new here, my name is Leslie and you are in my kitchen down on our farm and we are going to do some fall cooking. Now I know a lot of you are like, it's way too early for fall, and I get you. Last week we had a teaser week of fall. It was really cool. I had my windows open. It was wonderful. This week summer has come crashing back with a vengeance, and we are going to be getting close to the 100 degree mark this week. But I will tell you that fall is just around the corner. So we need to prepare. And us content creators on YouTube like to be a little bit earlier than other things because we want to get ideas out there to you guys in time. But with that being said, let me just say, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would love for you to do so. And now's a great time. Hit that thumbs up, leave me a comment, let me know where you're watching from, and engage with me. I do read all of my comments. I don't always get to respond as quickly as I had hoped to, but I do read them all. A lot of times I'm reading in a time and space that I can't respond, but I can get it read. And so I would just appreciate you engaging with me. Hit that bell notification so you don't miss anything that I upload. And be sure to comment because that keeps me in your algorithm. And so when I upload a video, it should pop up for you. So, all right, with that being said, what are we going to make today? We're making, you've already seen, and you could tell by the ingredients I've laid out, and you've already seen, hopefully I've shared with you already the finished product, but we're going to make Rice Krispie treats. But we're doing it with a fall twist. We are adding pumpkin. We're adding pumpkin pie spice. So, hey, if you've been with me for any length of time, you know I'm not the biggest fan of pumpkin. I love the smell of it. I love the idea of it. I love the season that surrounds it. I'm just not a big pumpkin person. And so we'll get Bryant to do the taste test on these Rice Krispie treats. I'll probably taste them and see what I think. There are a few pumpkin things I like. I make a pumpkin crunch cake that I think is absolutely wonderful. I made pumpkin whoopie pies last year that were absolutely delicious. So anyway, we're going to get things measured out. We're going to get things started and a head start. And I will see you back here in just a little bit and we'll get started making these. right, everyone. So the first thing I want to do is I've got a paper plate here and I've got some paper towels. I'm just going to lay on that. And I want to scoop out our pumpkin just to kind of drain any liquid off of it. Get any liquid out. So I'm just going to kind of spread that around. And I'm going to keep this spoon handy. I am going to rinse it off because I don't want it to stain it. But let me rinse it off. I'll be right back. All right, so I wanted to talk to you about the pumpkin pie spice. I bought this at the grocery store. It is pumpkin spice pie spice, and I was so impressed with the new lid. I love it. It kind of has a little rubber thing around the pop lid, and it's got the holes that you can sprinkle with. But of course, I was going to be scooping out of it. I didn't want it to sprinkle. I wanted to be able to scoop. So I have tried all morning to open it, and Bryant's not here, and I cannot open it. I mean, it is not budging, like none. And so I happened to look in my cabinet, and I had this. It's called Autumn Harvest. It has some of the same spices in it, and I think it's going to be okay. This has a few more than that one, but it has those. So I'm using this. But the recipe calls for pumpkin pie spice. So let's move over to the stove and we'll get started putting this together. In case you wondered about the water in the pumpkin, I want you to look all the way around that pumpkin, the liquid that has been soaked up by the paper towels. All right, we're going to put in 4 tablespoons of butter, and I may add a little bit more butter. And we're going to melt that over high to medium. I'm actually going to add just a little bit more because I think I have more. I think I have more marshmallows than what they're called for. So I'm going to add, maybe a tablespoon more. And we're going to let that melt. And once that melts, we're going to add in the pumpkin, the vanilla, and then we'll add in our marshmallows and get those all melted down and the pumpkin pie spice added in and stirred in. And then we'll just make pumpkin pie Rice Krispie treats, just like you normally would a real Rice Krispie treat. Now, let me tell you, a Rice Krispie treat that is absolutely amazing. I love just the traditional Rice Krispie treats. But brown your butter and just make brown buttered Rice Krispie treats. Oh my goodness. It's like a whole nother world. It is so good. And all you do differently is you just brown your butter. That's it. So we're not going to do that today, but let me tell you, it is so good. All right, it's melting away. Gonna stir it around. Get it to melting. All right, I'll bring you back in just a second when it's all melted. So it's almost all melted. We're almost there. We are just down to the last little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and add in our pumpkin. You got to be careful not to get any paper towel in there. Let me use this spatula. Stick that in the water real fast. Oh, I got off a little more. All right, and to that we're going to add in some vanilla. And we're going to give it a stir. I'm going to turn it down. It's getting a little heated. Let me get a whisk. We're going to whisk that up. All right, boy, does that smell already. All right, let's add our marshmallows in. And we're going to stir those around, getting that pumpkin coated all over it. And I've turned the burner down because I don't want anything to scorch. So if you need to turn it down or turn it up, whatever you need to do. And we're just going to let these melt away. It won't take them long. I'm going to actually go ahead and sprinkle in while I'm stirring, our pumpkin pie spice. Well, since I don't like pumpkin, I may not like the taste of these, but boy, do I love the smell of them. Oh my goodness. Now, give me a pumpkin spice candle all day long, by all means. And if you like pumpkin and you like pumpkin spice, this is going to be for you. I just know it. And what a fun way to add a fall spin on a normal treat, just to make it special. You're making this a special treat. Now, the recipe said you could also add in some orange food coloring if you really wanted to pump up the fall look of these, but I don't think that's necessary, and I'm not going to do it. One, I don't know that I have any orange food coloring. I have red and yellow, and I'm just not going to worry with mixing those to make orange. And I think the pumpkin gives it enough orangey look. But I will tell you what I did do that you did not see me lay out on the ingredients is I did buy some pretty fall colored sprinkles that we can sprinkle on top if necessary. So, all right, we've got our Rice Krispies here. Let's stir those in. I'm going to cut the heat off. I have my pan sprayed. So really right now we are just stirring these up. Making sure everything is coated and coated well. See, I don't think you need to add any food coloring. All right, let's come over to the table, the island, where my pan is already prepared. All right, we're over here. Let's get it turned down. And I'm just going to start. I have sprayed my pan well. We're just going to get these in here. I just want to get them out of this pan before they stick to the pan. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find my spray again and spray my spatula. And we're going to come in here and get it off this spoon. We're going to see if I can get the rest of this out. All right. And we're just going to take our spatula, spread it out. This is a 9 by 9 pan, by the way. I don't know if I said that. But you could do an 8x8 and it would just make them thicker. That would be totally fine. Get this little bit up right there. All right, we are not finished with these yet. So stay tuned. We're going to let them cool. I'm going to clean up and I'll meet you back right here in just a little bit. So while it's cooling and before we get to the next step of these, I have a question for you. What would you guys like to see me do with the rest of this can of pumpkin? It's a full can of pumpkin minus 1/4 of a cup. So what are your ideas on what I should do with this can of pumpkin? I don't want to waste it. So it can be food. It could be maybe craft related, as far as like, I don't know how I could do that, but I don't know if birds like to eat pumpkin, so I didn't know if I could make some kind of thing for the birds, you know. I don't know. But you tell me, leave in the comment, what should I do with the rest of this can of pumpkin? Just give me some ideas down in the comment section. All right, so we are waiting for this to cool down a bit. I don't think it has to cool 100%, but we're going to let it cool a good amount, because what I'm going to do is we're going to melt this white chocolate chips and we're going to drizzle it on top. So I don't want to drizzle it and then it like melt even more. So we're going to let this cool down just a little bit, just so that the white chocolate, once it hits, it's not going to just keep melting and slide everywhere. So, all right, I'll bring you back when we get ready to do that. All right, so I'm going to put these in the microwave in 30-second increments. I'm going to do 30 seconds, stir it, 30 seconds, stir it till it melts. And before I do that, I have a bag here and a red Solo cup. I'm just going to put this bag down in this Solo cup, you know, kind of one of the corners facing downward. And I'm just going to kind of cover it over the outside, because this is going to be my little piping bag. So it's ready. I'm going to go put those in the microwave. I will be back in just a second. All right, well, I have melted this down and I'm pouring it in our bag real quickly. I probably won't need all of this, but we're going to get as much of it as we can. I'm now going to take the bag, give myself a little clip with some scissors. Just clip off the end of that. Don't let it leak out. Let's get our... And I'm just going to go and drizzle this white chocolate all over here, and we're going to go back and forth. I don't really have any special way of doing this. I'm just, y'all know I'm not the decorating queen as far as food goes. Cakes and foods. So there we go. All right. So now I have these beautiful, like a lot of them are Halloween, like they're purple, black, orange, green, you know, Halloween colors, and some are colors like this with black in it. But I thought these were just very fall. So if you were making these for a Halloween party or kids treat at school for Halloween or whatever, you could definitely get the Halloween colored sprinkles. But since I'm doing it for like a fall, I got fall sprinkles. And we're not really a sprinkles, I don't really care for them. I don't like them on my cupcakes or anything like that. But they do make things pretty, right? And making food pretty is half the job. So I'm just going to come on and we're going to sprinkle the top of these. I hope you guys can hear me. I did take my mic off, but I hope I cut it off. If I don't cut it off or take the thing out, it still looks like I have a mic on, but then there's my stuff is happening, my mouth is moving, but there's no sound. So hopefully I won't have to go back and do a voiceover. All right, aren't these pretty? I don't know if you can see the difference that the sprinkles made, but that sure is pretty. All right, guys, I am going to finish letting these cool. They're not completely cool yet. Bryant's not here. He's going to be doing the taste test for us. So I'll bring you back just as soon as he gets here and we do the taste test of these pumpkin Rice Krispie treats. All right, everybody. Bryant's here. He's here for the taste test. They're still a little bit warm, but hey, who doesn't love a warm Rice Krispie treat? So we're going to see what he thinks. All right, so they haven't cooled completely, so they're still falling apart a little bit. That's only because they're not cooled. But he's here now for the taste test, so I've got to grab him while I can.
Put them in the fridge for about an hour?
Yep, and that's what I'll do from now, but I want him to taste it.
All right, here we go.
Even if it is falling apart.
It smells delicious. It's not overpowering.
You want forks since it's falling apart?
No, I use my fingers. Here we go.
He'll use his fingers.
That's really good. And it looks fall.
It does look fall.
Mm-hmm. The crunch is not there yet because it's not cool.
Right, right. Well, I mean, the Rice Krispie treats aren't really crunchy, but but there's a firmness to them. But they're still warm.
Try it. Here we go.
Here, let me just get a little piece.
A little piece.
Because y'all know I'm not a pumpkin person.
But it's good. Really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's not overpowering. I was worried the pumpkin would be too much.
It's not.
Good, easy treat.
I'm going to stick it in the refrigerator and see. I want to be sure that pumpkin, the liquid in the pumpkin, didn't soften this. But I think he's right. I think it's just because it's still warm.
Yep. So we'll finish the taste test here, and she'll bring you back after it cools and gives you the details.
Yep. All right. I'll see you back in just a little bit. All right. I wanted to show you, since it's cooled off, we've cut them, and they're perfectly just like a Rice Krispie treat. I would say, if anything, I mean, the crunch has come back in, or not crunch, you know, the crispiness has come back in. But I would say, just be sure, I should have put paper towels on top of the pumpkin as well as the bottom, just to get any extra, but it didn't harm it at all. But I would say, just to be on the safe side, get all the liquid out of that pumpkin before you make it. So anyway, it was a hit. It was good. You know, of course, I'm not a fan of pumpkin stuff, but those of you that are will like this one. So, all right. Thank you guys for joining us for the Farm and Pastor's Wife. I appreciate you guys so very much. Remember, if the grease is hot enough, you can fry anything. And hey, don't forget to leave me a comment about what I can do with the rest of that can of pumpkin. I want something unusual. So what can I do? All right. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, y'all.